What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to some more Littleroot laddering. So this week we are playing Weakness Policy Heatran. If you didn't check out the showdown from Sunday, I would recommend doing that. It's actually really interesting. This seems really cool. So we have Weakness Policy Heatran, of course, that we paired with Latias and Surf, so we can trigger our own policy if need be. We also have Ally Switch, Mystical Fire, Tailwind on I'm assuming a bulky Latias here, so it's pretty supportive, all things considered. Also have Grimmsnarl here for trick full instance things. Spirit Break, Fake Tears as well to pair with Celesteela, Heatran, Rotom, and Light Screen to round that out. Assault Vest Celesteela is something we've seen a couple different times now. Nothing really new and exciting there. Focus Sash Mammo, so we have just a lot of offensive pressure here with Mamoswine. Really, honestly, I think Mamoswine's really awesome, and I'm excited to be able to play with it and see if it actually can pull its weight today. So, and then rounding it out, we have Figgy Rotom with Nasty Plot and Will-O-Wisp. Carl and I kind of talked about this afterwards during the post game stuff for the Rumble. The showdown, I'm sorry. Having both is really interesting, and I'm not sure if I agree with it, but both have their uses, and I'm just curious if either of them would be better as if either one of them would be better as Protect instead. But, we're going to get into it, see what we can do with this team today, and I'm excited. This team looks really cool. Heatran is not a mon that I've played with a lot lately. It was something I played quite a bit with in Series 7, and I don't think I've ever actually seen Weakness Policy Heatran, so we're going to hopefully just run some people over with it today. So, see, we got Eliki, Dusclops, Glastrier, and Didi, Landorus, and their own Heatran. Interesting. So I really like Grimmsnarl here. I really like Celesteela. We need to be able to deal with Eliki before we bring Celesteela in, I feel like. Mammo is probably pretty good. It lets us deal with Landers pretty effectively, which is a big check to Heatran. I think it's going to be those four. It's going to be Grimmsnarl, Mammo, Celesteela, Heatran in some order. I think Mammo on the lead is probably fine. I think Grimmsnarl on the lead is also pretty okay. And then we can do Heatran, Celesteela in the back. Plan on Dynamaxing one of them in the end game. I think we're pretty okay with Trick Room going up. I feel like obviously we would rather play without it, but I think playing through it is probably just fine here. So let's see, we got Dusclops, Eliki up front. Okay. I mean, we can just trick away their Eviolite. We could also light screen here. I like getting rid of the Eviolite, though. And we can go for a high horsepower into the Eliki here. So obviously they know about this. They're going to Volt Switch off of my Grimmsnarl. Life Orb on that. Okay. This is going to be Glastrier coming in. Because I'm just going to take its Weakness Policy. Yeah, sure. Whatever. I mean, it's still going to take a high horsepower to the face. Does okay damage. And of course, Trick Room goes up. Honestly, I think this turned out pretty okay. Because now we get to trick away the Glastrier's Weakness Policy, presumably. And we can high horsepower into Actually, I kind of like going for Icicle Crash into the Dusclops, just for that potential to flinch it, seeing how it is going to be moving last. They're, of course, going to Dynamax the horse. Not really surprised by this. I'm pretty okay if they want to take out my Grimmsnarl this turn, because then I can safely bring in, like, Celesteela and Dynamax in front of it. I would like your weakness policy, please. Oh, it's White Herb. Interesting. Yeah, Steel Spike into Grimmsnarl. Going to pick up the KO there. We came in, we disrupted them a little bit. Unfortunately, they're going to get a defense boost on both of their Mons, and they're going to get the attack boost on the horse as well. But I think this is kind of fine. That did not do a lot. And there's a Nightshade. So now we can presumably figure they're going to target down my Mammo next turn. So we can bring in Celesteela. And then anticipating them to target down the Mammo, we can switch into Heatran and take another Steel Spike. And we can Steel Spike their horse, seeing how it's not weakness policy. The big brain play for them is to go for Quake into that slot, which would obviously be very detrimental for us. But I think this is fine. Like, the fact that we get one more turn of Dynamax, basically, the fact that we're going to have a turn of Dynamax with them not having one, if that makes sense. The fact that we staggered our Dynamax from them, meaning we have our Dynamax later, could make a big difference in this game. Helping Hand. Okay. It's going to be Hailstorm into Celesteela. Okay. We should take that like a champ. Holy cow! Like, I know it was +1 with Helping Hand, but holy cow, that did a lot. Well, I think this might be an L. I think the play we needed to make was Icicle Crash the Dusclops on 1 to try to prevent Trick Room from going up if we could get the flinch. Because unfortunately now we cannot, we can't protect Celesteela. So we had to hope that they... I mean, they're picking up a KO on something this turn, right? May it be Heatran, may it be Celesteela. One of the two is going down. And possibly both. And they're going to Quake, obviously into Heatran. Going to pick up the KO there. Because, 4 times weakness is really exploitable, especially when they actually have the special defense buff as well now. Like, sure, we're going to pick up the KO on the Glastrier, but we also just died at Nightshade, so it is now Mammo versus the world, and our Sash is already broke. We get a Beast Boost, so that's cool. Hopefully they went for, like, I don't know, Will-O-Wisp. Show me anything other than Nightshade. Darn. It was worth a shot. Not gonna lie, on paper this matchup looks really bad. Really, really bad. I also don't think I played this completely optimally, to be 100% honest with you. Like I said, we could have gone for the Icicle Crash to try to the flinch mode, like get the flinch on the Dusclops, which could and would have been useful. Yeah, now they just click follow me. I mean, they can also just go for like maybe. I mean, their only real damage now is Eliki, which really can't touch Mamo. So I think if we actually, yeah, this is gonna be expanding force, isn't it? Single target in terrain doesn't stand a chance. Good job, Mamo. You tried, buddy. You tried. So what could we have done differently? I don't think Latias does anything for us there. I don't think Rotom does anything there. I think we brought the right 4 in reality. I just not entirely sure. I don't feel confident about that matchup at all. But, you know, this is why we play more than one game on laddering, so we can actually get to see the intricacies and the ins and outs of each team. So, let's see if we can get paired up here for another one, and we got Lapras and Ferrothorn, 2 mons I have not seen in quite a while. Backing that up with Urshifu, Eliki, Clef, and Dragapult. So this could be Dragon Dance, Dragapult, which would be pretty annoying, all things considered. Oh, Heatran, I want you to be good, buddy. I want you to be good. And in the face of Lapras, I just don't think that's the case. I think this is probably like Grimmsnarl plus... Be Grimmsnarl plus like Rotom. Lets us potentially get a Nasty Plot off here on 1. And then I think Heatran needs to come, so actually, we have Flamethrower on Celesteela, so we can reasonably deal with Pharaoh. That means we can bring Mamo, and Mamo can put on a ton of pressure against their Dragapults. Celesteela lines up well against Urshifu. Yeah, I think we have everything covered here in some extent. This could have also been like Latias plus Heatran this turn, like on the lead. Go for Tailwind plus Steel Spike into the Clef, and then Surf plus whatever to take out the Dragapult. But it is going to be Lapras on the lead, so we're going to go for Nasty Plot. And we could, I think it's just, we're going to set up a light screen, obviously. I need to think my thinks. Luckily, Rotom just kind of sits in front of them and goes, okay, whatever, I don't really care about anything you have going on. The downside here is they have screens plus Friend Guard now, so their team is basically unkillable, so we're lining up to play a longer game. Or one where we can just do our thing and prevent them from actually accomplishing their goals. Oh, it's just going to be Helping Hand. Interesting. Of course, Rotom is faster than Lapras, so we get our free Nasty Plot off here. And it's going to be Resonance, presumably into Grimmsnarl. We should take this like a champ. So now we can go for Trick into... Alright, it's Light Clay on Lapras. So we can go for a Trick into the Clef. I'm fine with maxing here, I think, especially now that we're at +2. And just going for a Lightning into the Clef to remove it. Taking away the Eviolite and taking away the Eviolite while being at +2 means that Rotom should be able to deal with this, I would think. Unfortunately, they go for Protect. I was really hoping they would go for Follow Me, but it makes sense. Like, obviously, we want to target down the Clef more than the Lapras at this point. But unfortunately, this means we're going to essentially waste a turn of our Dynamax. And they also have Max Lightning. But Grimmsnarl holds on. This is one of the upsides of playing against like Clay Lapras. Is their damage output is just pretty mediocre, all things considered. Yeah, we'll double the Lapras. Why not? If they want to redirect this to Clef, I'm pretty okay with that. Otherwise, we just get to hopefully do some pretty big damage here. If we crit through the screens, that would be really good. But I'm not hopeful about it. So we'll see what our opponent's doing here before we get too excited. And no redirection. I mean, it does okay damage, all things considered. No weakness policy, that's good. Resonance is going to be enough to pick up the Grimmsnarl KO. Is this Moonblast from Clef? No special attack drop. They crit through our screens, that's unfortunate. But I think this is fine because now we can bring in Celesteela and threaten this Clef while also threatening Lapras. We do know they have Lightning on Lapras. That is something we need to be weary of. So I think the play this turn is they're going to Lightning my my Celesteela, so I'm going to go into Mamo. And we will go for the Lightning into Lapras. The old bait and switch. Does it work? Did we get him? They're going to withdraw Lapras. I'm assuming, is this Eliki coming in? No, it's Pharaoh. Okay. Well, basically, neither of us did basically anything with our Dynamax. They're just going to Moonblast me again. They are lefties. So now we can go for... We can go for a Will-O-Wisp into the Ferrothorn to mitigate the damage output that it actually does. And we can Icicle Crash the Clef. Yeah, they protect the Clef. That's kind of fine. Do they not have Follow Me on this? Like, the way they've played this makes me think that they don't have it. But, like, that's the reason you play Clef. We get the burn, so now their lefties recovery is neglected, basically. Negated. There we go. That's what we're looking for. They're going to go for Iron Defense. That's fine. We have Celesteela here in the end game. That's not really too concerning for us, all things considered. And they still have their screens up for a few more turns. I wonder how much this does. I need to remove this Clef, I feel like. Basically nothing. That's really close. It's close, but no cigar. They're going to Leech Seed into my Rotom. Well, as you can guess, I'm going to switch out. I mean, do I want to? Like, obviously, being Leech Seeded kind of sucks. But, like, then I negate my... Like, I remove my Nasty Plot boost, and I don't think I'm going to have an opportunity to get another one in this game. They're going to protect Clef this turn, I have a feeling. So I'm just going to go for the high horsepower. And I'm going to go for another Nasty Plot, I think. Yep, they protect the Clef. Not surprised by that. They're just stalling out their own screens this turn. There's approximately nothing. I forgot Iron Barbs was a thing. Leech Seed, Iron Defense, Body Press. Not surprised by this. Rotom holds on, but we should. Oh yeah, we have Berry, so we get to hold on a little longer. Lefties and Leech Seed, and we did a basically no damage this turn to the Ferrothorn. Cool, literally no damage. But now we can go for Ice Shard into the Cleft to pick up the KO on it. And I guess we can Hydro Pump. Yeah, they're going to Helping Hand. Presumably this is going to be a Body Press. I mean, that's the only thing that would make sense. Alright, Friend Guard down. +4 Hydro Pump. Damage, basically none. And Body Press into Rotom will pick up the KO. This is fine, though, because now we can bring in Celesteela and put on pressure against their Ferrothorn. Unfortunately, our answer to Lapras is gone, but we do have Assault Vest on Celesteela, so... And their screens are gone now, too. So, Celesteela should just be able to come in and delete this Ferrothorn from existence. They have Urshifu. Interesting. And it's Water Urshifu. More interesting. Unfortunately, Mamo already had its Sash broke, so I'm just going to go for the Ice Shard just to break a potential Sash over there. And I'm going to Flamethrower into the Ferrothorn just to remove it. I mean, that does a chunk. This is presumably into Mamo. Yep. Mamo down. Good night, sweet prince. Pretty sure the Mamo is female, but yeah, whatever. Ferrothorn deleted. Special attack boost engaged. So now we have a +1 Assault Vest full health Celesteela against Urshifu with his Sash broke and damaged Lapras. I honestly feel okay about our chances here. We'll remove the Urshifu first, because I think we line up better against the Lapras in the end game than it. The downside is we're going to have to take 2 hits this turn. And I think we can. Oh, nice read. Nice read. We take this. We take this all day. Maybe not all day, but we did take it. That's the important thing. So now they should Surging Strikes, but we should take that. And we need them to miss a Hydro Pump or a Thunder, I think. And I think we can win this game. Oh, they just go for CC. Alright, miss your attack. That's what it comes down to. Hopefully they went for Hydro Pump or Thunder. Because I think a Flash Cannon at this range would do enough. Dang. They do connect. They should have gone for Freeze Dry there, just because it is 100% accurate, and that would guarantee them the win. So, like, super minor optimization, but I think that is the correct play 100% of the time. I also think Surging Strikes would have done close to the same amount of damage that the Close Combat did. And then there's a non-zero chance that the Air Slash doesn't pick up the KO because you aren't dropping your special defense. I doubt that's the case. But I think Freeze Dry plus Surging Strikes is probably enough to pick up the KO regardless. But yeah, it is what it is. Opponent definitely played that a little better than I had. If we had attacked into the Lapras the turn before, then I think we were in a much better position. But I didn't expect protect on the protect the Urshifu that turn. I felt like they were already ahead, so they can just push their advantage. But they called it correctly, and they ended up winning them the game. So last game of the day, we got Grimmsnarl, Cinderace, Whimsicott, Primarina, Terrakion, and Rillaboom. So we have no redirection, meaning we're probably going to get beat up here. But what does that mean for us? We can... I think Grimmsnarl so we can fake Tears, and I think we need to one-shot this Terrakion. The question is with what? Probably Rotom. With like Celesteela and Mamo in the back, I think. Mamo could be Heatran. I think this is fine. I don't love it, but I think it's fine. I think because we don't have redirection, they just get to go ham here with beat up. So our out is to one-shot the Terrakion here, and I don't know if we're going to be able to. This is going to be Grimmsnarl Cinderace. I'm actually pretty okay with this lead. Like, we can trick away their Life Orb and Dynamax and punch them. What typing do they think we turn the Cinderace into? Could be Dark. I think we just Geyser because it's the most damage regardless. I don't think they have anything that they can turn into that would resist this. Like, obviously losing... Like, putting our full instance on the Mon we're trying to one-shot here is not ideal, but taking away the Life Orb off of it means that we can potentially live the hit. And I think that's the important part here. Is we can just disrupt them enough where we can pull ahead. I'm genuinely surprised they didn't bring Terrakion here. But, whatever. Opponent probably sees a lot of threats against Terrakion and as a result doesn't want to bring it. And I think that is accurate. I think we do have a bunch of things that threaten Terrakion appropriately, being Rotom, Celesteela. We have Grimmsnarl, so we can actually, just like punch it or set up screens in front of it too. And then the damage output from it is pretty minimal. Let's see what opponent goes for here. Oh, there's Swagger. There's Swagger Lum. But because we are full instance, they move before us. That's really bad for us. I mean, here, have a full instance. So if we don't one-shot you, we get a chance to next turn. Well, this is a +2 Steel Spike into my Grimmsnarl. You tried, buddy. You really tried. A for effort. Oh, the absurdities continue. Bop. That did like nothing. Like, I know we didn't get a boost here, but that did like nothing. I'm gonna bring out Celesteela here so we can potentially get the old bait and switch. Also, Celesteela should just be able to take a fireball if they do fire one off here. We're going to go for a Flash Cannon into Grimmsnarl. And we can go for a Lightning into Grimmsnarl as well. And just kind of ignore the Cinderace for a turn. Set up Electric Terrain. They're going to withdraw. They're going to go into Rillaboom. I mean, that seems fine. Seems pretty okay for us. We're going to remove their terrain, which is actually really good, because that means they're not going to be able to continuously Grassy Glide us. If they go for Max Guard on the Cinderace, that's why we completely ignored it. Alright. Not too terrible. Of course, now we have Air Slash to pick up the KO on the Rillaboom this next turn. They're obviously going to go for a Fake Out into it, presumably. Holy cow. Celesteela, you're insane. I'm actually going to switch into Heatran, anticipating a Fire-type attack into that slot. They could also just go for another Steel Spike or something along those lines. I'm going to ignore the Rillaboom. And target down to the Celesteela, see if we can pick up the KO on it. No Grassy Glide. Well, no Fake Out, I should say. Fortunately, Cinderace hold on with just a sliver. That did a chunk. And... oh, this ignores Flash Fire. I'm dumb. I am very dumb. I forgot that it has Mold Breaker on that attack, and as a result, it just ignores it. I mean, now we can just go for Heat Wave, and we can Thunderbolt the... is Heatran faster than us? Than our Rotom? I doubt it, right? 112, 136. Okay, so we can Thunderbolt the Rillaboom, pick up a KO on it before it gets to attack. They're gonna withdraw the Rillaboom. I'm pretty okay with this as well. They're gonna go into Grimmsnarl. Yeah, this is all fine. Just gonna take this T-Bolt. Not very well, but it does take it. Nice crit. Heat Wave should pick up the KO on the Cinderace. And almost picks up the KO on the Grimmsnarl. Get the burn? Get the burn! No burn. Now the downside is they get to bring back out Rillaboom, and now they have priority Grassy Glides. Will they actually bring out Primarina? I mean, okay. I'm going to protect Heatran this turn. And we will go for Thunderbolt into the Primarina. I'm assuming they're going to switch Grimmsnarl back out into Rillaboom. But I mean, we have Celesteela at like full HP in the back here too, so it's a Hyper Voice. Heatran should outspeed, right? Primarina is moderately slow. And the rain is over now as well. We should have this, I would think. Celesteela just gets to come in and clean up a ton here in this end game. So we will Flash Cannon. No, I'm going to Flash Cannon the Grimmsnarl slot. And we will go for... yeah, we'll Flash Cannon the Primarina as well. It does okay damage. More importantly, we get to remove the Grimmsnarl before it attacks. Which, because they didn't go for priority, tells me that they had a Spirit Break coming probably into Celesteela. Hold on. Nope. Darn. Darn, Heatran. We believed. We believed in you, and you, unfortunately, did not. Electricity is gone. That's kind of whatever. Now they just get to Fake Out plus Hyper Voice, and then Hyper Voice again. Like Hyper Voice plus This is really interesting. I think we just have to go for the Flash Cannon to Primarina. I think Primarina is the bigger threat to us than this Rillaboom. But unfortunately, I don't know if we're going to be able to pull this one out. That did a little too much for my comfort. And now we're definitely within double Grassy Glide range. So even if we do take out this Primarina this turn, we go down to double Grassy Glide. Oh, man. Maybe it was correct to go for Air Slash the one turn we attacked, just so we could potentially get a flinch. I was really hopeful that we could hold on, but unfortunately not. Not a great day for us, unfortunately, but you know, they can't all be phenomenal, but we'll throw up this rental code one more time and make sure you pick it up. This team's cool. There's a lot of working pieces for it that I think work well together. I'm interested in getting some more games in it with it the rest of this week, so make sure you check those out when they go up and pick up the rental code while it's still available. So I think that is going to do it for us today, everyone. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and we will see you later in the week with some more Littleroot Laddering. Have a good one. Peace.